Summer, hot day. Remove the front end. Gonna raise this. Now these clips might be all jumbled up. I'm not quite sure. I'm getting a new phone in 2 days, so the quality might up in this video. But cross member off. I'm about to go strip it down, take it to Tesco, and jet wash the crap out of it because it is filthy, and I don't want to be welding with a dirty cross member. So strip this down, get it ready to go back in there. I wonder how long it is till I get told off for doing this in Tesco. Lol. Oh, lovely. Yeah. Well, they're a lot cleaner. Obviously, I assume this jet wash would have been hot water. We didn't have a hot water option, which was absolutely terrible. But clean enough. Much better. Back filming on my new phone again. Basically, long story short, my insurance decided that they didn't want to insure my new phone when I upgraded, and they left it on my old phone. So trying to get a new phone has been proving difficult because apparently it's not insured, even though the bloke in the shop admitted that he messed it up in the shop. So I've been without a phone, so I've not done many videos, but I did use the iPhone 6 to do a couple of videos. I don't know if I'm going to put it in this video or I've already uploaded a separate video, or there'll be little clips here and there in this video. Anyway, what you can see here is the cross member of the front of the C10, C20. So this weighs about the same amount of weight as the truck itself. Yeah, basically we're gonna raise this 2 inches without altering the engine height. So this is the point where the chassis rails go on here. The engine mounts bolt here. What we're gonna do is raise, the A-arms bolt onto here, and there's obviously a brackets here. There's 2 holes here. Anyway, oh no. The next possible point of contact when this truck airs out is the subframe and the gearbox cradle and the center prop bearing cradle, and you get the idea. But at the minute, it's currently bottomed out. We've ordered drop spindles, so that'll give us another 2.5 inches. But if you remember, I wrote everything down on a bit of paper, and I need just under 5 inches. So the drop spindles, 2.5 inch. If we raise this subframe 2 inches, technically we will get exactly the amount of raise that we need to get the car to lay the seals, technically. You can't really go much more than 2 inches on this, because then the engine will just sink out the bottom. The engine sump is quite high in comparison to this, but obviously we don't want the engine to then be the lowest point on the truck. But raising this keeps the engine at the same height, raise all the suspension and the lowest point of the truck. Should be all okay. Now, what I'm basically doing is cutting this section here and here, cut that flat, and then I'm going to cut a 2 inch section all the way along here. Drop the top bit down, weld it back together, put it back on, 2 inches of drop, theoretically. So I'm going to clean it up with a grinder, and then I'm going to start marking it out with some tape, lots of measurements, and then just get to cutting it basically. Stop the video. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There you go, one clean subframe. Now, turn that around, it's probably easier to see. So, this is the front. So this is the engine sat here, like the front pulley's here, this is the front. So, now, to do this, it's never gonna just drop through perfectly the whole way around here. It's never gonna happen. What you're gonna have to do is cut it And then some of these bits are not going to line up. You're going to have to just fill them with weld or a little bit of metal at the same time. So the plan is to cut it as close to this as you can, because this obviously, if you look here, these bolts bolt through the frame. I'll show you. So yeah, these bolts here, this one and this one, they actually bolt through the frame. That's the upright sits directly flat against that. So you want it as tight as you can to go to there. So then obviously that cut then continues on down here, and it'll be like down here. And just cut a 2-inch section all the way along. So I'm gonna try and mark it out now, and then you'll get a better idea of what I'm trying to say instead of me just dribbling all over the camera. Something a little like that. So bang a straight edge against that, and then cut down there, and you want to come obviously dead straight down from it. 2-inch that way, just do a 2-inch that way. This tape is 2-inch, sorry, that makes a lot of sense. So this one strip goes there, and then you just want to follow it around in any sort of pattern you really want, really. 2-inch, and again, make sure that's straight and square with all of this. And then basically you want to just cut on both sides of this tape the whole way around, and then up across over that line. Obviously the same again on the other side, and then what you get is this top piece will then drop down, so this cut then meets this cut together like that. You get what I'm saying? Technically. Now, what I will say is you should probably try and brace from here to here, so because this is obviously a lot of strength in it. I don't think it's going to move, it's really heavy, but just to be safe, just put a bar across there. I'm going to probably try and put a piece on here which I can actually add a 2-inch block underneath it, and then I get it straight this way as well then, because you want to make sure this drops directly down. It doesn't want to go like this or like that, it wants to go down like that. So if I can get a flat piece of metal on there and then add another flat piece of metal underneath it, I think will be good. Just to note as well, if you're copying me and watching me do this, this line is not straight. The chassis rail actually goes in at like an angle. So this is not directly straight, it actually goes like that, just to bear in mind. But you want this one to be dead straight because it's going down. You don't want it to go sideways like this, you want it to go straight down. Right, can you see what I'm putting down here? This is obviously not going to move from here to here, so that it's not going to twist. These are obviously flat against this bit here, same again. Now when we cut the 2-inch section out of here and drop it down, there's going to be a 2-inch section underneath these legs, which is when we can then slide these in, because these are obviously flat. Slide these in, button up against that, and then make sure they're flat onto this and then flat onto that. Bish bash bosh, we've dropped it 2 inches. And then if there's a little gap or anything like that, we can fill it around with weld or a bit of a plate or etc. So you get the gist. Also, just a quick one, mark a couple of lines like this. I will do that right now, just so you can see it lining up sort of thing, you know what I mean? That makes sense? I think it makes sense. Like so. That way you know you're not too far this way as well. You can eyeball it, you know what I mean? Now to cut all this out miserably It's going to be a pain in the arse to do. This bit is not going to line up at all just because of the way it all is. So I'm not too worried about this. I'll probably have to open it up or cut a bit more. Anyway, bigger than 2 inch, potentially. Not sure. We'll figure it out. I'm not going to film me cutting it because it's going to take ages because this is thick. Well, that took way too long. Obviously, I've only done one side. And it was just miserable, I'll be honest, absolutely miserable. But it was just a nightmare to cut into. Can't get the grinder in some of the places. It just doesn't want to know. So I'm probably just going to clean it up around this edge. If you look here, just smooth that off there. I couldn't really get the grinder to do what I wanted to there. So I just need to smooth that off here so it sort of matches this point. That's tight underneath there. That's tight underneath there. Obviously, we've gone straight down there. Straight down there. It just lines up here. Obviously, this is where I said it would never, ever line up. If we turn it around, it will line up again. Where's the witness marks? If you look at the top, they're in line with each other. It is the same on this side. Yeah. These little bits I'll have to fill in or cut them and hammer them in. Again, on this side, there's a bit of a gap there. It was never going to fit first time. As you can see, it's got very hot. But I've just got to make plates for this one, this one, this one, and this one now. I think all this burning's good for my lungs as well. I think that's really nice. Well, that's come out nice, eh? Not so much that one. It's all contaminated with whatever flavour oil is in there. She got hot. Got those little extra pieces in there, tacked in. Just gonna melt all those together and hopefully that is all bueno. Hot, 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 hot. Hot glue gun has burnt my arm. Ouch. So yeah, just tried it on. Obviously it's all welded up together now. Tried it on the car and it wouldn't just squeeze past. It's tight against the castings, the chassis rails. So by the time it gets to the actual subframe piece, it wouldn't fit. So I just ground them all back flush with the casting. I'm gonna try it on again. Well, pile of power steering fluid on there. Subframe's on. Obviously, you can see. Bolted up, bolted up. Yeah, it's tight on there, but it was tight to come off, so it's exactly how it should be. What they don't tell you is that your steering arms are now going to hit, which is rather annoying. Because that's how you steer. I'm gonna try and clearance that edge because it's like at its highest point there. I'm gonna try and clearance that edge and see what I can do that way. If not, we'll see. We'll have a look. That wasn't expected. So if you try to do this, beware of this. If you had a steering rack, it would be different. which is what most people usually do, I'm assuming. Right, more fluid all over the floor later. What I've done is trim the return lip, the excess off. It's very, very close. As you can see there, that actually needs a bit more. But this side, there's loads of clearance. And that's with the steering center, so that's as close as it will get. Now, I'm gonna probably shim the subframe down like 5mm, and then that'll give us lots of clearance around there, because it's actually above the subframe really. You can see that. It is slightly above. So there is clearance there now, but just to be safe, I'm gonna make a little bit more. I don't wanna grind that anymore because that's where because that's where the A-arm actually bolts onto. I've not actually taken any strength out of it like that, but yeah, it's very, very close, which is annoying. But there's things around it anyway, if it comes to it, like that. And we can reshape that bar or something like that. I have to wait till I've got the spindles and new track rod ends, etc. to go on here. Also, I could just drill through that hole and this hole. Well, that one's open anyway, just to get a bolt in. Same again on the other side, and that's bolted in. This video is going to be so long, so if you're that bored and you got to the end of this, congratulations. I go to Italy in 2 days, or 3 days, I don't know. By the time this video is up, I might even be in Italy. So yeah, progress has been slowed on that for a while until I get back. But I'll get it done. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm covered in it today. Cheers. Right, just been editing this video this morning to get it up Saturday evening, which is when this will be posted. So I did do some more work on the truck. I did finish off the subframe. I managed to fill in the side pieces on the other side. I'll insert some pictures here over the top. I tried to take a little tiny bit more material off there, see if it would clear, but to be honest, it's way too close for my liking. So yeah, I've decided that I am gonna raise the steering box and link arm by simply re-drilling the steering box holes. So just drill that and then just go up there. Same again on that side. That will lift all of this up by just enough, and yeah, it should be pretty decent. And then from there, anyway, I'm gonna have to alter this steering box. This needs to go that way, because as you can see, the top arm is gonna hit on full drop. So that's another issue. But it's okay, I'll get it done. I do go to Italy in 2 days, like I did say. Drop spindles have turned up for the truck, which is banging. I'm so excited for that. Hopefully when I get back, all the bag mounts and the tubs will be printed out from Jack at Dropworks. So when I get back, everything's gonna be spot on. Today, I'm gonna weld the bottom of this up and then maybe piece some of this together just to see how low things are gonna be with the new drop spindles. But that's it for this video now. The video is probably too long. Thanks for watching.